Good evening and welcome to the CGN studio. Today we are talking about Knights. I am super excited. We're filming this at nighttime.
It's dark.
Because it's about knights.
It's night. It's the right time. The nighttime's the right time.
What is that from? Why is that perplexing me now? The nighttime is the right time.
I think it is from an Adam Sandler CD when they
Oh
get
my
rid of the
God,
cult.
yes.
Well, dude, that's sold.
That's sold. Welcome to the Shrine of Aquila studio. I am Aaron. This is Josh. We are going to be doing a quick overview of the Knight's Codex. And look at all of our pretty knights. I'm so excited.
It's very pretty, folks.
I'm so excited that maybe we should just move the boxes around and use the rules instead of building them.
No.
That'd be pretty funny. If you want to get more from this, remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that bell button so you never miss an update. If you would like to take your patronage to the next level, check out our Patreon. We have some fantastic giveaways on there as well. And of course, we have our podcast on our website, coolguysnation.com. Let's get to the hotness, shall we? So, of course, we have the new release, the Warhammer Knights Codex, and with this release we have a bunch of new models, including the little baby knights, the skirmishers, which are super cute, the Castellan, the Valiant, and a new piece of scenery.
That's correct.
Some
it comes
terrain, it comes in the Renegade box, which is here.
Which is not the old Renegade box.
It's a different
new Renegade box.
Different box, which is super exciting. We're not doing an unboxing at the moment, but we are going to talk about the Knights. And they have made a lot of changes to the Knights. They have their own codex, they have their own houses, they have their own keywords, they have their own stratagems, all which is super, super cool. And there is a Knight character.
Yes.
Which is really exciting.
Yes, it is.
And his knightly weapons, which we'll go over, are pretty good. But he has one little special trick that I like.
He does. I will say...
Yes, you say.
There is no Chaos Knight information in this book.
You think there's going to be a different book?
I think they should. Somebody told me that there's actually might be rules in this, but we're not doing an unboxing, so I guess we won't know.
Oh, there's rules for Chaos Knights in there?
There might be. That's what I heard. That was what a little bird told me.
Okay, you know what? We're going to open this afterwards and see if there's rules for a Chaos Knight in there.
Alright,
I'm pretty sure the internet knows already.
We're going to find out. We don't know.
We don't know. That's true. This is all new for us. So, our small little knights, there are two variants of them.
What are they called?
They are called Helvrins and Warglaives.
That's right. What's the difference?
The Helvrin has the autocannon and the meltagun and the stubber, and the other one has the chain cleaver. So there's a close combat and a ranged attack.
Now, I will say, these are kind of lame guns. They look a little lame compared to, like, GW's standard.
They look like lances.
Gun arms. Yeah. They're
a little skinny.
They don't really knock my socks off, but they still look like autocannons, even though they are, like, autocannons on crack.
I mean, they are autocannons, though.
Yeah, I know.
They have a cooler thing on the
There's
front.
no skulls, though.
That's true, there's no skulls.
It could have had, like, an open skull for the end.
We do have that box of skulls.
I know, maybe we should do that.
Yeah, let's change it. So we got two of these in the box, and then we also got two of those in the other box that GW came out with.
The Forge one.
Forgebane?
Forgebane!
Forgebane box, so we are going to be having 4 of these. Now, the first thing that's really nice is these can be run in a squad of 2, which I think is really cool. Mm-hmm. Even though once you put them on the board, then they do act as separate units, but from using up the slots in your formations and your detachments, you can take 2 for the price of 1 spot.
Right.
And that means you can have 4 without repeating 3 models.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, so that is
These
really
are
cool.
separate. You could actually have 6.
Right, you could have 6 total
of each.
if you took the Supreme Command.
Yeah, because they can only take 2, right?
They can only take 2.
Yeah.
So power level 9 for both of them, power level 18 for 2.
Wait,
surprise,
no,
surprise.
they can take 2 additional.
Oh, plus 18. Yeah, so you can take 3. Oh.
So you can take 9.
You can actually have 9. So really quickly, the difference between the two. First of all, they're very fast. They move 14, weapon skill 3, ballistic skill 3, strength 6, toughness 7, wounds 12, attacks 4, leadership 8, save 3+. All of the knights Everything that we're going to talk about has a 5-up invuln.
But is it versus shooting only?
Against ranged weapons.
That's important. No, don't let your opponents try to cheat you and think that they can save in combat.
Nope.
No.
They can still power fist you. Quite nice. The autocannon, 60 inches, heavy 2d3, strength 7, -1, 3 damage, and ignores the penalty to hit rolls for moving and firing heavy weapons.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Very cool. And then the other one, the close combat one, the Warglaive, has the Reaper Chainsword, which has 2 attack modes. One is called Strike, which is strength times 2, which would be strength 12, -3, 3 damage, just straight up
Right.
bing bang. And then Sweep, which is it can make 2 attack rolls for each one attack for a total of 8 attack rolls at strength 6, which is just regular user, -2, 1 damage.
Basically baby stomping.
Baby stomps.
Baby stomps.
But the other one doesn't have that.
That's right.
So
It's just got guns.
it's just got guns, and then you can add a melt-a-gun to them. And of course, depending on which allegiance and household you pick, you'll get different special abilities.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the knights are pretty much the same
Until
so the Preceptor, the Paladin, the Errant, the Gallant, the Warden, and the Crusader.
Now, I wasn't familiar with this one.
Which one?
Maybe the Preceptor.
Reaper
He's got a Laz Impulsor. I think this is actually
this
a
one
new
is different. Okay, so the Preceptor is new. Same stats as all the regular knights that you're used to. Movement 12, weapon skill 3, ballistic skill 3, strength 8, toughness 8, 24 runes, 4 attacks, leadership 9, 3+, but
It's just got this weapon that's different.
it has this Laz Impulsor on it, and it has 2 profiles. And the nice thing is its second profile is not like an overheat situation. So it's 36 inches, heavy 2d6, strength 6, AP -2, d3 damage, or cut the range in half, 18 inches, heavy d6, strength 12,
It's pretty good.
-4 d6. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Now we're going to skippity skip scap. We're skipping.
You
We
skipped
skipped too far. No, Rex.
Yeah.
Canis Rex. Very
Now, is
cool.
it Canis Rex? I think it's Canis, like canine.
Canis Rex?
Yeah.
Sure.
Canis anus.
Rex. Canis.
It's definitely Canis.
Okay. It's definitely Rex. So this is a unique character that is in a knight. It has some.
His name means Dog King.
Or
King Dog.
it does.
You actually skipped one of this guy first.
What?
Oh, no, you didn't.
No, I didn't skip anything. Now here's something cool. His weapon skill and ballistic skill is a 2+ instead of a 3+, which is super nice. His movement is 12, so normal amount of wounds. Everything else is the same. Strength 8, toughness 8, 24 wounds. That's all the same. However, he has special weapons. So first of all, he has the Laz Impulsor again, which we just talked about, which is the 36 or 18 inches, 2d6 or d6, yada yada yada. But he has Freedom's Hand, which is strength times 2, AP -4, 2d6 wounds. And
Wait,
when
I want us to have to use two D4s now. I like
yeah,
this.
d4s for
Pyramids for everyone!
When attacking with this weapon, you must subtract 1 from the hit rolls. Treat any damage rolls less than 6 made with this weapon as 6. If a vehicle or monster is slain by this weapon, pick an enemy unit within 9 inches of the barrel and roll a d6. On a 4+, that unit suffers d3 mortal wounds.
So this is 12 damage.
Yeah, I don't understand the point of that. Treat any damage results less than 6.
Oh, maybe 2d6.
Yeah, it's a minimum of 6.
6.
So 2d6 added together is a minimum of 6. So from 6 to 12, which is pretty cool. Now, there are 2 other things. If this model is reduced to 0 wounds and doesn't explode, then Sir Hector gets to jump out and run around.
That's the Dog King's pilot.
Yes, that's the Dog King's pilot. And his stats are movement 6, weapon skill 3+3+, strength 3, toughness 3, wounds 4, 3 attacks, leadership 9, 4+, and he has an architect pistol, 15 inches, pistol 1, strength 5, AP -2, 2 damage.
Mm-hmm.
Not
He's
too
got
bad.
that fancy gun.
Yeah, he's very fancy. So you get a little guy to run around with. It's so cute. Now, the other thing is that he is also a free blade. And that means that there are positives and negatives to having a free blade.
He actually has his own positive and negative.
He has his own special chart, which we will go over later.
We won't go over the chart.
Oh,
we're just going to say that it's kind of lame. But his is specific. Like you have to look it up.
Okay.
And his are. It's kind of like a.
Let's look it up.
Let's keep going.
Keep going.
Keep going.
Keep going, Aaron.
Keep going.
I'm going.
Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
Wow, there's so much stuff.
There we go. So his are specific. Legendary hero and last of his line.
Okay, so legendary hero is once per battle round you can reroll a single hit roll, wound roll, damage roll, charge roll, or saving throw. And
Last of his
obsessed with vengeance and burden. Okay. Obsessed with vengeance. While this burden applies, a free blade can only target the nearest enemy unit that is visible.
No, he's got. Where does it say?
Canis Rex and Sir have the obsessed.
You
with
forgot
vengeance.
the other good thing. Last of his line. He's got
last of his line.
First,
sorry. Reroll hit rolls of 1 for the free blade attacks. Dog King.
We're just talking about Dog King getting out of his vehicle.
Yes, getting out of the vehicle and his burdens. So his burdens are the obsessed with vengeance. Oh, and he maintains these burdens as his normal character. Because it says Canis Rex and Sir Hector.
Yep.
So, obsessed with vengeance. While this burden applies, a free blade can only target the nearest enemy unit that is visible to in the shooting phase. It can only declare a charge against the nearest enemy unit in the charge phase.
But that's only if he fails his leadership.
So only fails his leadership, but what does the leadership go down to after he dies?
Still 9.
Still 9. Okay. Now, the new knights. The new ones. First up, Knight Castellan. So first of all, their movement is lower. 10 inches.
Yeah.
Their weapon skill starts off at a 4.
Instead of a 3.
Instead of a 3.
Yeah.
So that's a big deal. But their strength 8, toughness 8, 28 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership 9, save 3+. Now, the Castellan comes with the Plasma Disseminator, which has a regular...
Wait, did you say Disseminator?
Decimator. What did I say?
Disseminator?
Disseminator. It disseminates the information. You're a jerk. Don't be a jerk. Decimator.
Disseminator. That's all it's going to be called from now on.
The Disseminator.
That vehicle is now the Disseminator.
Alright, Knight Disseminator has the Plasma Decimator, which has 2 firing modes, a standard and a supercharged. Standard is 48, 2d6, strength 7, -3, 1 damage. And the supercharged is the same thing, except strength 8, -3, 2 damage. However, for each roll of a 1, you do a mortal wound to yourself. Ouchie!
Yeah, I don't know about using that.
Then it has 2 Siegebreaker missiles, which is 48 inches, heavy 1, strength 10, -4, d6, and you cannot take invulnerable saves against it.
That's pretty brutal.
It is pretty brutal. Next, we have the Twin Siegebreaker Cannon, 48 inches, heavy 2d3, strength 7, -1, d3. And you can add a Twin Meltagun, whoop-de-doo. Volcano Lance, 80 inches.
It's like the baby version of the one that comes on that crazy Baneblade chassis.
Yes, it is.
Storm Sword? Shadow Sword? I don't know.
Something like that. Strength 14, -5, 3d3. You can reroll fail rerolls when targeting Titanic units with this weapon.
It's going to be your other Night Killer.
Night Killer. And then Titanic Feet. Make 3 attacks for each normal attack. Strength user -2 d3. However, it has dual plasma core explosion.
Now, he can also replace...
Right. You can take a Twin Siegebreaker Cannon in place of the missiles. And I like that because the cannon you get to shoot every turn. It's 48 inches, it's heavy 2d3, strength 7, -1 d3. Still, it's pretty good. I think it's more overall useful, but not as much fun as landing a strength 10 ignores invulnerable save missiles in your leader's face.
I mean, that's going to pop something. Go, you got to save a CP for re-rolling damage.
Yeah, I think so. However, when it explodes, you roll 2d6. If you get a 6 on both, 3d6 inches and d6 mortal wounds.
It blows up real big like.
Otherwise, it's 2d6.
Now, what's the average radius that's going to be when it blows up at 3 inches? Or 3d6?
3d6, 6 times 3 is 18, so 9.
And it's actually 3.5 on the dice, right?
And it's actually 3.5 on the dice.
So that'd be 10.5 inches. Now it's on a huge base. So that is...
No, actually, no. It's exactly 9 because it's 3s. It's perfectly 9.
Is it D6?
3d6.
I think it's still 3.5. That means at least, I would say, 10 inches out from either side all around. So, and I think the base is probably about 4 inches at least.
Yeah.
So we're looking at 24 inches in diameter.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get this while you keep reading. I'm gonna go get my.
Just grab a Knitght off the table.
No, here we go.
Oh. It's 2 feet.
From the top of this box, that is the explosion radius. That's, what did we say? Average. Okay, now
average if you roll both 6s.
Now if we go,
no, that's the normal. That's the double explosion.
No, because we're talking from diameter, so that's on all sides.
Right.
So 10 inches plus 4 plus another 10 inches at 24 inches.
Yeah, but that's for the 3d6 explosion.
That's the 3d6 explosion.
2d6
now,
would be an average
that's
of 6.
The average. Now, what would be the max? 18?
36 plus 4. So 40 inches. You can't even get it on camera. It's the entire... 40 inches is the entire width of the board because it's a 40-inch table.
So...
half the board.
That's fun.
And you can have 2 of them. And you can put 1 on each half.
It would be really cool if they just triggered each other's, like keep blowing up all across the board.
That would be insane.
Alright.
So that's kind of cool. Next up, we have the Knitght Valiant. So again, all the same stats, the 10 inches, the 4 weapon skill, the 28 wounds, blah, blah, blah. But this one has the conflagration cannon, range 18, heavy 3d6, strength 7, -2/2, and it's a flamethrower, so it auto hits. I love this gun.
Yeah, it's real good.
I love this gun. It also has the individual seeking missile.
Now, I got some combos coming up that you're going to like, so I'm going to let you keep going.
Sure. It can also take the twin Siegebreaker cannon in place of the missiles, and then it can also take the Thunder Coil Harpoon.
No, it does come with that.
Well, yeah, it does come with it. Range 12, so it's short. Heavy 1, strength 16, -6, straight up 10 damage. Just straight up.
That's not all, folks.
If you are targeting a vehicle or a monster, you can re-roll failed hits.
I
get to lean back.
Yeah. So I want to talk about some of the household traditions. There's 2 different kinds. There's Questor Imperialis and then Questor Mechanicus. They kind of change what stratagems you're allowed to use, but that's pretty much it. But you're going to have to not only choose which household traits you want, but also which stratagems that you want to use.
Yes, you have to choose your household and your faction.
Yeah, well, some of the households have to be in that faction.
Right.
So
yeah, I mean, you technically have to pick 2 things.
Yeah. So
and I don't think it has to be the same for all of your detachments. They just can't affect each other. Like if you took 2 different detachments of knights, you could.
I don't think that you're going to have to worry about that.
But you can. I'm just saying.
Yeah, if you're playing like Apocalypse or something.
Yeah.
There are 3 of the Questor Imperialis households I want to talk about. One is Terran. When determining the distance that the household advances or charges, roll additional d6 and discard the lowest result. Pretty sweet. The other one is Hawkshroud. This one, it says, models with the Hawkshroud tradition double the remaining wounds they have when determining the purposes of what characteristics to use on their damage table. So they last a long time. So that's what I like about them. And then House Morton, add 1 to all of the rolls in the fight phase for a model that just charged, was charged, or performed a heroic intervention, which is pretty much every turn for knights because they can back out of combat and then charge in.
I like that knights have heroic intervention.
Yeah. Next, the Mechanicus ones, the one I really liked the most was Raven. So these guys do not suffer penalties to hit rolls for advancing and firing assault weapons. Furthermore, any turn in which the unit with this household tradition advances, all of its heavy weapons are treated as assault weapons. So they run and gun. run and gun.
Which is amazing with these guys.
Yeah.
Amazing!
So these guys can go like 20 inches and still fire.
Yep.
Okay, on to stratagems. I've noted a couple that I really like. One is Noble Sacrifice. It's an Imperial Knight stratagem, so anybody can use it. It's usable on Armiger or Questoris, and also Dominus. But what happens here is on an Armiger or Questoris, it blows on a 4. Costs 2 CP, blows up on a 4-up. If on the Dominus class model, that's the big boys, you roll 2 dice for them to see when they explode. With this stratagem on a 4+, on either dice it explodes.
Right, and that means that you get the...
No.
Normally it's double 6s.
Right.
Now it's double anything 4+.
Right.
And you get the giant massive
But
explosion.
it'll still blow up on a 4-up, and then if it's both 4-up, then they blow up. Alright, I just finished talking about Sky Reaper protocols. That lets the Helverins reroll to hit. Next one I like is Rotate Ion Shield. That works for everybody. That adds a +1 to...
It sounds super Star Trek-y, doesn't it?
Yeah, it just adds 1 to your invulnerable saves. However, it costs 3 on a Dominus class.
But it stacks.
Yeah, but there is a Warlord trait that gives you a 4-up.
So
This
you
can
can get
take
a
you to 3-up for your Warlord trait.
That's nice.
Oathbreaker Guidance System. This is the hotness. 2 CP. Use a strategy before choosing a target for a Shieldbreaker missile in your shooting phase. That Shieldbreaker missile can target a unit that is not visible to its bearer. Can target a character even if it's not the closest.
Woo!
So that's a Strength 10, AP -4, D6 damage, ignoring invulnerable saves, going wherever it wants.
No line of sight.
No line of sight.
Oh,
Yeah, it's pretty good, huh?
that is amazing.
So you know those people that have like, I've got an Imperial Guardsman, it gives me a 5-up every time I use a stratagem, and then I get a 5-up every time I use a stratagem, and then you go, I shoot it instantly and it's dead, and you're like, cool. Next.
Cool.
Next one, I really like the name of it.
Full tilt.
It is an Imperial Knight stratagem. Use the stratagem in your charge phase. Choose an Imperial Knight's vehicle in your army that advances this turn. It can still charge.
Oh,
So remember the run and gun ravens
Yeah.
that can also charge after that? Yeah, it's pretty cool. All right, Chain Sweep. This is Imperial Knight's stratagem. Play this fighting with an Imperial Knight that is equipped with a Chainsword, Reaper Chainsword, Ravager, or Honor's Bite. Roll a d6 for every enemy model within 3 inches. On a 6, it suffers a mortal wound. It's hilarious to pile into like a huge unit of like 40 or something and then just be like, brrrt, after you attack with everything. It's pretty cool. Death Grip. This is awesome. This is an Imperial Knight stratagem. Immediately after fighting with an Imperial Knight's model from your army that is equipped with a Thunderstrike Gauntlet, Paragon Gauntlet, or Freedom's Hand, resolve an additional attack with that weapon against an enemy unit within 1 that consists of a single model. So, another vehicle, a character, something like that. If this attack hits, the enemy suffers D3 mortal wounds instead of the normal damage and is caught in the Death Grip. Both players roll off and add their respective strength characteristic. If your opponent equals or exceeds yours, it breaks free. If not, the model suffers D3, and both players roll off again until you break free or dead.
what?
Now,
What?
what's really funny is there's a stratagem coming up that lets you fight again in this phase, so you can use Death Grip on 2 different models in the same turn.
Wow.
I think you're... Yeah, there you go. Alright, next, Valiant Last Stand. This is Quester Imperialis. Play this when your model in your army is reduced to 0 but did not blow. Before removing it, you can either shoot as if it were your shooting phase or fight as if it was in your fight phase, resolving everything as if you had 1 hit point remaining. Which is kind of cool, for 2 CP. Next, Benevolence of the Machine God. This is a Quester Mechanicus one. Use a stratagem when a Quester Mechanicus model from your army suffers a mortal wound. Roll a d6 for that mortal wound, and for each other mortal wound inflicted during that phase. Basically, the psychic phase gives you a 5-up feel no pain versus mortal wounds, which is pretty sweet. Glory and Honor. This is House Terran. It lets you fight again. So Death Grip, House Terran. Beep, boop, beep, beep. Order of Champions.
That's a lot of CP though. That's 5 CP.
Yeah. this isn't something you're going to do a lot.
I'm just saying, if you want to squish 2 mutant models to death, it's 5 CP.
Order of Companions, play this with House Raven. Pick a house model in your army. Until the end of the phase, reroll all ones for that model, including hit rolls, wound rolls, damage rolls, and rolls made to determine number of shots fired by that weapon. That is 2 CP for House Raven.
That's amazing.
Next is the Tenaris House. Use the stratagem when an army unit in your army is reduced to 0 wounds that not explode. Roll a d6 on a 4-up. Set that model up again.
What?
As close as possible with d3 wounds remaining. Just hilarious. Just hilarious.
Could you imagine if you get the double? Does it cancel the explode?
It has to survive the original.
It cannot explode.
Right.
But you're just like, no, I'm still here.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Staunch Allies. This is Hawkshroud. Basically, this is the super hilarious stratagem as far as I'm concerned. I will read it thusly. Use this stratagem immediately after an enemy unit declares a charge against an Imperium unit from your army. Imperium. Anything in your army, even if you've got like Imperial Guard unit, whatever. Choose a friendly Hawkshroud model that is more than 1 inch away from enemy units, okay, and within 12 inches of the unit that was just charged. It's pretty huge. That model fires Overwatch at the charging unit as if itself was targeted by the charge. Furthermore, if the resulting charge is successful, it's not going to be. I'll tell you why. Furthermore, if the resulting charge is successful, the model can perform a heroic intervention against that unit, that charge, as if it was a character. If it does so, it can move up to 2d6 inches.
Oh my god.
But must end closer than, it just has to move closer to that model. Okay, here's what's hilarious, because you use it on your brand new Knitght Valiant, which has a 3d6 auto-hitting strength 7 AP -2 2 damage weapon. And you just go, you gonna fight anything? No, you're gonna die. That's pretty hilarious, right? So, yeah, that's good.
I love it.
Now, what's really funny is that even if the unit they're charging is already in combat, you still can fire Overwatch. It doesn't say you can't. It just says if it gets targeted by a charge. So if they're engaged, and then the guy's like, I'm safe, and then they charge, and then you're like, no, you're not safe, and you kill them. Next, Warlord traits, there's only one good one. Ion Bulwark, +4 invulnerable save for your Warlord. Next, Heirlooms. There's a few like okay ones. Ones that I've picked out are Traitor's Pyre, which is Questor Imperialis. This is for a model that has that cool conflagration cannon. What it does is turns your 3d6 flamer into the Traitor's Pyre, which has the same stats except that it re-rolls failed wounds. So it's 3d6 auto-hitting, strength 7 re-rolling failed wounds.
Oh my gosh.
So it's pretty good. Next, Call's Wrath. This is just a upcharged version of the Plasma Disseminator, sorry. 2d6, but the strength is up by 1 and the AP is up by
-4.
Up to -4 and 2 damage base instead of 1 damage base.
And then 3 damage for the upgrade.
Yeah, I don't see that you really ever do that when you take this. Okay, the other one, Hunter's Eye. House Cadmus only. Oh, sorry, Call's Wrath is for Questor Mechanicus. House Cadmus, enemy units do not receive bonus to saving throws from cover from range attacks from this model, which is kind of cool. And then the other one is the Thunder of Volotaurus.
Sure.
This turns your rapid-fire battle cannon into strength 9 rapid-fire battle cannon, but instead of rolling 2d6 for the number of shots, it rolls 3d6, dropping the lowest for number of shots.
Very nice.
Which is pretty good. I don't think I've got any more on here. There are free blade qualities and burdens, but for the most part it kind of sucks because you have to take a bad thing and you don't want to take anything that you have to randomly roll for every turn, adding time to your game. That is a quick overview of the Imperial Knights book.
Okay, really quick.
Really quick, we're going to open up this thing.
Really quick.
I'm going to move these out of the way.
Help me, I can't do it, I'm useless.
Did you undo the side ones?
That's why I can't do it. Disseminator.
Epic face palm for the Disseminator.
Disseminator.
I like how our heads are cut off.
Yes, they are. I will correct this. I will correct it.
Ooh, it does come with this cool poster.
Oh,
But ours is jacked up for some reason already.
Because Josh did it.
No, like it came in the box jacked up.
Okay.
Where's that little thing?
So many sprues of nights. So many sprues of nights.
How long is it going to take you to paint and build all these?
3 hours.
Okay, this is the Renegade rulebook. Alright, let's see what it
Knight
says.
Gallant.
Using Knights. Renegade Knight. It is literally the Chaos Index entry, and that's it. We don't care about that.
Boo!
Alright, this is for the actual game in Renegade. Nobody cares about that. This
Is core rules.
is the core rules. If you're buying Renegade and you don't have the core rules, I question why. So
But this is a nice little travel copy.
yeah, but okay, fine, whatever.
That is all from us. Thank you so much for tuning in. We apologize for the camera errors today. I will do my best to edit them out. Remember to like and subscribe. Check us out on Patreon. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our podcast, now available in the Android Podcast Store, thanks to Podbean's 1 minute and 37-second video and 2 minutes of hooking everything up.
Yeah, remember how long it took you before you
Months.
spread the video?
And when I just gave up.
Yeah. Also, check out our new website. It's very cool.
CoolGuysNation.com.
That's right.
It's all scrolly, lots of pictures of Josh.
And Aaron.
There's one picture of Aaron.
He's got ears though.
I do. I mean,
Multiple
anyway.
sets of ears.
And multiple sets of ears. Until next time, this has been Aaron and Josh from the Knight talking about Knights. We will see you later on the
Table. We did it. We did it.